It's the home of the Wizards here in Washington, D.C. as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the Verizon Center. 2K Sports brings you Friday night NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. On the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. And with the road trip approaching, the Wizards play the final game of their homestand. They have had some success, but still a lot to prove, sitting 14 games out of the top slot.
Well, they're hot right now, guys. I mean, they've been on a big-time roll. And coming into this game, I would say this is probably the best basketball that they've played this year.
That's what their recent games would indicate, Steve. I mean, they've been basically invincible. It's really been a showcase of just how dominant this team can be when they're clicking on all cylinders.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Melo outside at the 3 with Amari down at power forward. Amon Shumpert is out there with Calderon, and it's Serafin in at the 5 spot. Here's G. He's guarded by Calderon. And that one's good by G.
And I guess the word for it would be scandal. All the reports swirling around him about a text that was allegedly found on his phone that puts him in a bad light.
Well, I've not seen the text that's in question, but from what I understand, somebody saw him texting about his future, and it didn't include this team. Who knows what to really make of it? You know, so often the social media stuff takes on a life of itself. The written word and the spoken word sometimes don't match up.
That one goes. Count it. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter.
Amari Stoudemire still an efficient scorer, attacking the rim. The problems have been at the defensive end of the floor, where last season he fouled 4 times more than he blocked a shot. Not a great ratio. So he's got to continue to work defensively.
And that one's good by Pierce.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
For New York, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Calderon dishes to Stoudemire. The feed to Shumpert. Anthony right side. Anthony right side. Lock at 6. And it's Anthony again missing. The Wizards have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Here's G, and Washington again with the bucket.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
For the Knicks, it's been a slow start here. 7-point differential. Wizards beat them last time when these two teams met in Washington.
It was not a very inspired performance for them, particularly defensively. I thought they gave the hostile crowd a lot to cheer about, frankly.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jumpers, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was right through the roof, and you can't win when that's the case.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin. Randy Pittman had some words for his team over the break. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through G. Coach putting the pressure squarely on his shoulders by asking him to be the key man in the offense. It's not something they ask of him every game, but when they do, he can usually handle it. The next thing he talked about was the pace he'd like to see them playing at offensively. He wants it to be a fast-paced game, pushing tempo all the time. So still in the opening quarter, and already some adjustments being made. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Kicks to Beal. Pass to Pierce. He dishes it to Nene. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
Wow, just a tremendous first quarter shooting the basketball for them, guys.
Yeah, when they put it up, it's gone in.
Calderon kicks to Stoudemire. There's the dish to Shumpert. New York moving the ball around. The 3 from Anthony. Rebound by the Wizards. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but Didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against a defense that didn't really put up much resistance. How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Here's G. And Washington again with the bucket.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
Calderon kicks to Shumpert. Anthony against Pierce. Lets it go from 14. And again, it's New York.
That's just run of the mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Here's G. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Knicks trail by 7. Anthony drives in. There's the bucket. Good. Anthony's got 9 points.
Boy, he's looked great so far. Offensively, looks like he's brought his A game.
Wizards have gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. Here's G. Hits it from three-point range.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
New York's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Calderon up top. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Seraphin the pass to Calderon. He kicks to Seraphin. The pass to Shumpert. Lots of room. That one rolling around and rims out.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
Pierce. Shot misses. And New York the other way now. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
Well, there's no doubt they played well enough to win that game. It truly could have gone either way, Clark.
Well, the lesson in this one is you can't just play well for 3.5 quarters and expect to win. I mean, they didn't close it out the way they should have. That's on them.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
And a brief look while we had the chance of a few of the hottest big men in the NBA. The leaders among centers and power forwards in field goal percentage during the last month. Amari Stoudemire, third.
You know, it's one thing to be able to create high-quality shots for yourself, but you still have to finish. And there's no doubt all those guys can do both.
Yeah, every sentence needs a period. It's one thing to get the shot off, but you need to finish. You need to take care of business in there. Most of their chances are easy ones.
Now here's Anthony. He's coming off a 28-point game against Brooklyn.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
And that one's good by G.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
New York Knicks were ranked as the NBA's most valuable franchise recently, and with team values skyrocketing, the Knicks came in at around $1.5 billion. That's a B, billion.
And Stoudemire with the basket on the assist by Shumpert. Stoudemire's got his second basket.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
G dishes to Beal. Pass to G. Off the pick. Another one falls for Washington.